Right, we are officially a week into the new year, 2024. A week ago today that I'm recording this was New Year's Day. So I ask you, how has your first week been in 2024? Did you set those New Year's resolutions? Or maybe you made a really, really big goal. And where are you at? How has this first week been? Because I know for some people that I've talked to, they've already faltered. And I don't like to use the word fail necessarily because you only fail if you quit or you don't start. So most of us started something and we are going from, where we are to where we want to go, or we made some sort of a resolution for the new year. And there could have been some already not making the right decisions, or coming from a lack of and just not showing up the way we'd want to. And I encourage you, if that's you and if that's happened, to take the feedback and continue to move forward. You see, what happens so many times is that we'll not keep our promises to ourselves, or say we're going to do something and then do the opposite, or do half of it, or maybe not any of it at all, which essentially is not keeping your promises to yourself. And every time we do that, our self-image takes a hit. And after doing that so many times, and it really only takes about 2 to 3 times in a row to do that, that your old programming and habitual behaviors and paradigms have now seeped back in and more than likely have control. And the resolution or the goal or where you were going is now fading away and eventually will just disappear. So how do we stop that from happening? Well, first and foremost, if you continue every year to set goals and you don't make them, or set New Year's resolutions and you forget you even set them, or you don't make it, like you didn't go 365 days doing what it is you intended to do, therefore people would put that in the failure column. Stop doing it. Stop setting yourself up for not achieving what it is you want. It's Einstein's quote, the insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So what can you start doing today that's different? What can you start doing today that's really going to get you results? And obviously, if it hasn't worked in the past, it more than likely is not going to work in the future. And I talked about this before in setting goals. If you have set goals, which I know some people say don't set goals, I still think that you should have something to shoot for. You can have other mini base camp goals and other daily disciplines and dedications and decisions that you make, but having a bigger goal and something to shoot for, at least for me, it's been the biggest change for me is who I become when I achieve that goal. So I think having a big goal is important. And it's showing up every day and recommitting to whatever it is you are going to do. And knowing that you more than likely are going to falter along the way. And I know when I was making goals, before I found all this material and this information, I didn't understand how to set goals. And I was actually letting other people set my goals for me, whether it was number of real estate transactions I was going to do, or maybe my doctor with my health and where I should be, or it could be financially, where I thought I should be, or what this person said I should do. There's just so many different ways that other people can get in your head and set your goals for you. And I'll tell you over and over and over again, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, because what I've come to learn is if you don't set your own goal, and in setting your own goal or the thing that you want to accomplish, it has to be inside of you, a burning desire. If it's not something that you really, really want, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get it, you're more than likely not going to show up and do it. Or when that old programming and behaviors and voice comes back in telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't, you don't need it, the worthiness issues, the confidence, all of that stuff, you're going to let that take over because the burning desire isn't there. So that's why year after year after year, I didn't achieve my goals because they weren't even mine to start with. And I just want you to sit with that for a minute. Think about what it is that you truly want. Is it your desire? Or is it someone else's for you? Maybe a spouse, maybe a kid, maybe a parent. I mean, there's so many different people that speak over us so often that we don't even really hear it anymore because we are so used to it. So think about that. Think about what it is that you're going to do in 2024. And look back on this past week. If you have set a goal, or if you maybe set a New Year's resolution, how has the week gone? Are you still going strong? Did you falter and then recover? Or maybe you just did the 2 or 3 falters and fell back into old habits and it's already a thing of the past. You know, I've talked to all 3 different types already today. So I encourage you to think about that and to really decide, start over. You don't have to wait till next New Year's, or you don't have to wait till next Monday or next Sunday to reset. Reset today if you need to. Set your intentions or your goal or whatever it is for this year now. And, I do have, as I mentioned before, clients that do quarter goals. Maybe a year-long goal isn't for you. There's just like most things that we come up against and across, so much of it's what we think we should do or what we've come to know to be true, our reality, just because that's all we know. So what if you took goal setting and shook it up and flipped it on its head and decided, I'm going to set a quarter goal or a month goal? Really think about that. Think about what will motivate you. Some people run towards pleasure and some run away from it. So what type are you? What's going to get you into action? Is it knowing that if you achieve this, this, and this, then your reward is that? Or if you don't achieve this, this, and this, then you got to do that. And that's so painful that you're not going to do that. So you will show up and do what it is you need to do. 2 different ways to think about it. And really just find the thing, whether it's a quarter goal or a year goal, find what it is that you'll commit to, that you'll wake up excited about, that you'll wake up in the middle of the night and start thinking about it and you can't go back to bed. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. This is how much it should excite you and it should be worthy enough of you. And then how can you get 1% better at it every day? Meaning, if it's a job that you're doing or a career that you're in and you want to get more to a mastery level, or it's becoming the best X, it could be partner, spouse, parent, coach. I mean, there's so many different ways to look at this. What are you doing to become 1% better in that part of your life? What are you doing to level up? What are you doing to get to the next portion or unlock the next beautiful gift within what it is you're doing? You see, so many of us just go day to day and are just getting through the day. And we're not really even thinking. We're not thinking about what we should be doing or could be doing to get us to the next level. So as you're setting these goals and as you're thinking about this, think about how you get 1% better every day, because it's through getting 1% better every day that at the end of the year, you would need a telescope to look back and see who you once were, because it compounds. It's the 1%, the 1%, the 1%. And that can be, I mean, I talked to a client earlier, that could be as little as switching out regular Miracle Whip to avocado mayonnaise for a health goal. I mean, can you see how that compounding effect could happen, or adding water? getting a water goal around what you intake into your body. That's just some health goals, but talking about work goals, for real estate, I coach so many realtors because I am one. How many clients are you contacting a day, past clients? How many prospects? Even if you reached out to 5 people a day, whether you had a conversation with them or not, but reached out and got yourself in front of 5 people that are your ideal client, whatever business you're in, what would your business look like at the end of a year? Even if you did that 200 days, you only have to do it 365. Think about that. Think about what you can do right now that you can commit to doing 1% every day and do the 1% better. I promise you, your business, your life, that part of what you're trying to do and who you're trying to become will look so much different. Because if you're like the 90% of people out there that don't have this information or don't understand it or are not aware enough to really apply it, you're just going through your day. And then you're going through your weeks, and your weeks become months, and your months become years, and you're not really even aware of how to do this. Because it's by doing the 1% better every day that you will become who you need to become in order to achieve these goals. Because you will not, and I can promise you this, and I've said this, I don't know how many times this last week, you will not get to your goal if it's big enough and if it's worthy enough of you, and if it both excites you and terrifies you a little bit all at the same time. It's that goal that inspires you. You don't know how you're going to do it. You just know that you want it and you desire it. And that's the only prerequisite. You will not get there by who you are today. Where you are right now, where you're sitting, how you're thinking about yourself, how you woke up this morning, your habits, who you're surrounding yourself with, who you're not surrounding yourself with, what your knowledge level is on what it is you're going to be doing, what you feed your body, what you feed your soul and your spirit, all of that is needing to shift. You will not make your goal from who you are today. So who do you need to become? Who do you need to unbecome? What do you need to stop doing? What does the version of you that's already done what you intend to do and want to do and your biggest desire and goal, was that version of you doing? So think about this as those habitual behaviors and voices and thoughts and all the reasons why, I worked out 10 minutes past what I thought I was going to yesterday, so I'm just going to skip today. Or, I ate so awesome yesterday that I can have that cookie or that piece of cake or a couple bites. It's not a big deal. Or, work-wise, I made 10 contacts yesterday, so I'm going to skip my 5 for today just because, I can just tack it on. Don't go for average, go for exceptional. Really lean into this and decide that when those voices, when those reasoning, and when that habitual behavior and paradigms and thoughts come back, that's the old version of you. You have to be aware of it, call it out, put a pin in it and stick it over there for now and say, not today. Today I'm doing this. And continue to make that decision, one decision after the other, over and over and over again. Because here's the reality. Those thoughts, those voices, that reasoning, our habitual behavior, it will creep in every single day until the day you leave this earth. So that's where I talk about this is a lifetime journey. It's not a sprint. There is no destination. This is something that you want to commit to doing. And knowing you will falter, you will take one step back. It's just how quickly do you catch yourself? Is it 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, months, 2 years, 2 decades. Again, I've been in that low energy for over a decade. I know what it's like. And I've gotten it down where I understand the difference between responding and reacting. I used to be so reactive. And now I can have a trigger happen, or I can have something come into my space and choose differently very quickly. I can choose a lot of clarity, finding the good, going to gratitude, taking it and just almost repurposing it or looking at it from a different perspective. Because we all have control over our thoughts. No one can control our thoughts but us. The problem is so many people do. They let their environment control them. They let what they're hearing, what they're seeing, what they're watching on TV, all the things of people they think that know what they're talking about, that most of them, if they haven't done, anything of consequence or what they intend to do, they're asking their neighbors or their parents or their uncle or their cousin or their friend for advice. I mean, watch your environment and watch who's around you and watch how you're going into this year, and choose right now to do 1% better every day, whatever that looks like for you. And you may have heard me say this before, and that's okay. A lot of things you're going to hear me say over and over again, maybe in a different way, maybe in a different podcast, maybe on a different platform. But here's the reality. You need to hear it over and over and over again. That is the repetition. It's through repetition and impressing upon your subconscious over and over and over again that things will actually start changing. It's just like these people who I saw it on Facebook today. I read 100 books in 2023. Well, good. You know what that tells me? They can read really fast. Good, good, good. They got that down. They're a fast reader. Do you think they actually absorbed everything? Do you think they actually studied these books and through the repetition really, really understood what it is they read and applied it and made the change and took the time? I'm going to guesstimate and actually say no, because I know that Bob Proctor, my mentor, and my mentor now, and Bob Proctor's mentor, Earl Nightingale, they would read the same page, maybe even the same paragraph for months in a book. Take Think and Grow Rich. Bob studied that book every day for 61 years. 61 years. Not one day did he say he did not study that book. Many times he was on the same page for months. So what are you repeating over and over and over again so that you really truly understand what it is you're intending to understand, or the lesson that's right before you that so many people glaze over because they just, have goals that sound good, but is it really growing you? Is it really growing them? So I encourage you to think about that. Think about, you still have time. We're only a year into the year, or only a week into the year. And even if you're listening to this in June or September, start now. It's never too late. As long as you're waking up, be grateful you woke up today. And what can you do with today? Because we all get the same amount of time. We all get 24 hours. There is no such thing as time management. You do not manage time, period. What you do manage and what you can have control over is what you do with your time, what activities you're filling it with, who you're surrounding yourself with. How are you getting 1% better every day? That is a goal, and that is something to always be thinking about. 1% better every day. Go do it now.